Look, ski match the game like the corners in New York done taught us. Overcharging for how they did they like soul in the gold rush. Hoodies and bombers, my entire whole plate. My starting lineup look like Golden State. And this year we coming after hours like we open late.
No matter what, we're gonna keep fighting. That's what we do.
We're gonna keep fighting every single night.
That's what we do.
Sums up our team, sums up our city.
Yeah.
We dig.
We fight.
We find a way.
Look.
Yo, you know that my bad, man, my bad. But I love the what he says. No matter what, we're always gonna keep fighting. I love that part, man. That's such a dope part.
Word.
Salute to everybody.
On the intro, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You know, my bad, y'all. I for the late start. That's on me. That is definitely on me. But we here. You know what I mean? Shout out to our guest tonight, Knickerbocker Ave. Dominick is in the building as usual. You feel me? And the rest of the Knicks staff, Fraz is gonna pull up. Shout out to Just Knicks and Uncle Paulie in the comments. We see you. But yeah, man, my bad, y'all. Allergies was washing your boy up, man. I went to take a nap. I went to take a nap and overslept. Kev had to wake me up from my nap with the phone call. So I appreciate everyone's patience. You know what I mean? I guess we get right in. Fraz, my guy, is in the building. Yes, indeed. Good to see you, good brother. You know what I mean? I guess we could get right to it, right? We could get right to it. Let's start off with Coach Tommy T signs his extension to be the coach for the Knicks for the next 3 years, right? What's the contract? Somebody tell me what the contract was.
It's three extensions. It's 3 extended years.
Yep.
Yes, sir. I started off well deserved. I make no qualms with telling people that I was on the fire Coach Tommy T train at one point. You feel me? The year that we missed the playoffs. Yeah, I was on the fire Coach Tommy T train. But after watching what he did when he actually got the players that he likes to use and the continued success and growth of this team and organization and seeing how the locker room buys into the philosophy and literally sounds like an extension of him every time there's a microphone or camera in front of their face. Well deserved. I can't wait to see what he does this year with the addition of Mikal. And I'm excited. I'm excited to hear what the panel have to say. Let's hear it, guys.
Let's start off with Knickerbocker. I got Knickerbocker.
Well, Tom Thibodeau is without a doubt the best coach we've had in 23 years. We've had 11 head coaches since then. Since Jeff Van Gundy left us back in 2001, just the names that that we can spurt off: Derek Fisher, Kurt Rambis, Jeff Hornacek, David Fizdale, Mike Miller, and we finally got a head coach that can change the culture, change the outlook, change the perspective, change everything about this team. With a winning percentage of 318 wins and 175 losses in 5 seasons. The man deserved an extension. That's why he was the NBA's head coach of the year 2 out of the 4 years. And salute to him. He absolutely deserves it. I couldn't be happier for him.
Go ahead, run off one of them stats. I hear you, Knickerbocker. Run off one of them stats real quick. Dominick was good. Talk to me, brother.
I always go back to when I first met y'all. It's remember what we used to want? Remember when we wanted a coach? Remember when we wanted a GM? Remember when we wanted that one player that wanted to come here? How can you be upset? But there goes the problem we were talking about before we went live. With some on social media that rather feed into the negative instead of the positive. Like I don't remember not so many years before Thibodeau, we lost 65 games twice. Like I forgot that. I'm that young. And trust me, I am that young. I'm that young where I forgot that nonsense. No, I didn't, guys. You know, every little thing that we begged and cried and poured our hearts out for 18 years came through in what? 1 year. We got Leon Rose, and boom, we got Tom Thibodeau. And here's the scary thing, and I will stop. We could have got Tom Thibodeau when we had Phil Jackson and his culture with, you know, Williams, Afalu, and Lopez. That was his culture. But Tom Thibodeau was begging to come coach his Knicks. But, of course, Phil Jackson and his ego. And Phil Jackson set us behind. This is another thing, guys. This is how good we should appreciate Thibodeau. Phil Jackson set us back 5 years. The day Phil Jackson walked out the garden, we was 5 years behind the NBA. We was already behind the NBA before we got him. So now we just add 5 more years to this nonsense. And here we are, guys. So God bless him, man. He's a great coach. He may be a little rough around the edges. I was in the Army, so rough around the edges really don't sit well with me. You're a man up, you know. So I love it. God bless him. And he's right in that window, guys. He's in that 3-year window for us to win a chip.
And you know, to before we go on to the next person on the panel, is also to note that first year as head coach, he took us to the playoffs for the first time in 8 years. Like with a ragtag group. That was most of that team ain't even in the league anymore.
Alfred Payton. Alfred Payton. That's all I gotta say. Alfred Payton.
Yeah.
Knicks and squad, y'all know what to do. Talk to me.
Go ahead, Fresh. Talk your shit, man. It's been a while,
Well, you know, it's been a while. So let me say the line for everybody who don't know about me. Y'all already know the vibe. It is your boy, Fresh Pass, the one and only Parlay Lord, back again with the Knicks and Ish panel. Shout out everybody here on the panel. Y'all already know. Shout out the conglomerate, DJ Marlin, Michael Port, JJ. Y'all know who y'all are, man. As far as Coach Tommy T goes, you already know what I'm going to say. I was on the fire Tommy T train with T-Top. We're not going to sit here and cap and stunt like we wasn't. Know what I mean? I definitely was. But this guy deserved this contract, man. Like T-Top just said, first year he comes in, he gets us to the playoffs, and then you skip a year, and then now he brings us to the second round. You bring in a guy like Brunson and complimentary players that fit Tommy T style. And you did hear me say this on Nixon-ish when this first happened, when I said, if you get Tommy T them right guys, he gonna make it work. And that's exactly what he's done since he's gotten personnel changes. And I think it's only gonna get better with this year as well.
Good shit, Fraz.
Yep.
Mrs. Knicks, what's up?
What's up, y'all? I mean, I agree 100%. I mean, he deserves it. I mean, like y'all said, we've been begging for this type of culture, and we got it. Somebody's phone is causing some. I hear it. I hear myself over talking. But he deserves it. I mean, he brought us to the second round with guys that are bench guys. And so, you know what I'm saying? Like, they give their all for him and for the team. And that's because it's his culture. We haven't built around the team. We built around our coach. We brought guys in that believe in what he preaches and are going to give it all for the team and for the city. So it don't get no better than this. He deserves it 1,000,000 times over. I mean, I think after the year 3, he probably gonna retire, but he gonna retire Nick for sure.
With one of these, you heard? He gonna retire with one of these.
I'll be honest with you, and I know Knickerbocker mentioned earlier about coach of the year, right? If you ask me, I thought he should have been one last year with all the injuries that we had, and how he still took his 150 games, and was able to take us to the second round, and prior with all the injuries that we had. So that the fact that he didn't get that, to me, was blasphemous in itself. because you lose your second option in Julius Randle for the rest of the year, and then you had Mitch gone for 50, you had OG gone for however many plus games, and then for him to be able to continue to do what he did, that was just, to me, the adjustments that he made coaching wise, and knowing how to mix and match the players that he had on the team. I thought he should have got that in himself. So I think that extra 3-year extension that he got was well deserved. But now I think what's important is what we do this year, because now we got those pieces. We got those necessary pieces we need to get to the next level. Now we got to see what he does in order for us to win this championship.
And I think one important thing no one mentioned is his development of players. Because his development of players got us the guys that we have on the team right now, through the trades and all that, and having Deuce. But his development of IQ and RJ made them valuable enough to get a guy like OG. So that's really important, and I think that's really overlooked a lot by a lot of Knicks fans, how he's developed them into what we needed to get the pieces we needed.
These are the facts.
Don't forget. See, I know some of y'all probably wanted to jump off the Thibodeau bandwagon year 2, but I told y'all the first time I was a great guest on your show. Tom Thibodeau took that one for the team. He bit that bullet on year 2. When y'all decided to go out and get 48 and Kemba Walker, Tom Thibodeau said, okay, I'm going to suck this up, but it ain't going to happen again. And what did the Knicks do? They stopped, they regrouped, they got the parts, and here we are. So I don't even blame him for that year. It was a fluke. Y'all went from the best defensive team in the league to wanting offense, and your idea of offense was Evan Fournier and Kemba Walker. Help me understand that. Just didn't work, did it, fellas? Just didn't work.
Dominic, I remember that. You definitely said that. Like I remember us going through that. He's like, nah, Thibs took this one for the team, so they could see that they need to get him the players that he want, and they did. And to compound on some of the things that's already been said, you have to, like Kev was saying, like, you have to see what he's been doing, and not only the development of young players. Look how he's taking, quote unquote, what you would call journeymen, and making them valuable role players and competing against.
Oh boy.
AT&T is just not what it used to be.
So yeah, Coach Tommy T, he a lot of fans gotta give him his credit, because he used to get tore up about that, not being able to develop the young players. Guys like Deuce, he forget it. Even the guys, even them young guys that are not on this team no more, he pretty much helped develop the RJ, the Emmanuel Quickly, and those guys. Yeah, let me add them back in.
They just weren't those parts, as Anna would say. They just weren't those parts moving forward. They were good, movable pieces with good, movable contracts. You couldn't ask for nothing better.
Right.
Now these are the facts, man. Like I was saying, he keeps on finding what.
Oh, there it goes again.
Who you got your Wi-Fi with, bro?
This always happen every time I have multiple guests. You feel me? Yeah. Every time I have this, always happen. I left my other laptop. I was on my laptop, and I saw that was gonna be some bullshit. So I tried to go to my iPad. Next step is to switch to another device, and then we're gonna hope for the best. There, right? But
yeah, we're gonna see T Tom on the roof of his building. So it's like, yo, do I got reception here?
We're about to come to that point. But Coach Tommy T definitely keeps on finding these diamond in the rough that teams probably look at mostly as trade bait. for other situations like in the likes of Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, Isaiah Hartenstein. You know, those guys were on the road to becoming what you would call journeymen. You feel me? Like they've been to multiple teams and haven't found a home, and you see the kind of production that he gets out of those kind of guys. And you have to tip your hat to the coaching on that aspect. You know what I mean? And shout out to Coach Tommy T. Can't wait to see what, you know, he does with this roster that we have now, which is a great segue into, you know, the next topic. Precious Achua assigns, what is 1 year, $6 million?
Correct. That's correct.
Real quick, I'm not gonna be long-winded because I want to hear what the panel have to say. I think it was well deserved. I think we spoke about this here, and we were all kind of content with, you know, Precious coming back and being and playing the backup role. And for the fans who's worried, because I've seen a lot of this on social media, Precious Achua as a starter for the Knicks averaged 12 points, 9 rebounds, and almost 2 blocks a game. As in 18 games that he started. You know what I mean? So hold your horses, guys. Like, hold your horses. You're calling him undersized. No, yeah, he's undersized, but he plays way bigger than what he is. And with the roster that we have, ain't nobody game planning against Precious Achua and attack him. Like they're not game planning against them with the roster that we have. You know what I mean? There's no team that's 100% super solid in every position and backup and starters, but Precious Achua is very serviceable. He could play not only the 5, he could also slide to the 4. Yeah, I mean, he could do a lot for this team, and I'm happy that we have him back. Yeah, you know I mean, Pandle, let me hear what y'all think.
Want to go first? Knickerbocker, go ahead, bro.
Precious Achua, 6'8", 243 pounds, and I think T-Time hit it on the head. In the 18 games that he started for the Knicks, you know, in the place of guys like Mitchell Robinson and Julius Randle, he performed. And I was almost certain that he was going to be part of some kind of sign and trade. Apparently, that's not going to happen right now. I mean, he still probably could. I mean, they haven't fully announced it all the way, but I'm glad that he's got his money. I'm glad that he's still here. I'm glad that we still take, you know, we're still addressing. But I'm just kind of, you know, I'm looking at him and seeing if, you know, if he balls out, and then what's going to end up happening, you know, come trade deadline, because, you know, he could be one of those guys that, you know, just that, you know, that $6 million can pad a, going to work out.
Go ahead, Dom.
First and foremost, we can't, as of right now, we cannot move him before the 15th of January. So that's a good thing. The other part is, dear Knicks fans, Connie Hawkins was not coming out the locker room. Julius Erving was not coming out of retirement. Who the hell did you think we were going to get? For those that said, who did y'all think we were going to get? Dave the Busher? Come on.
I know where he's buried.
If I'm not mistaken, he's a homegrown product, ain't he? Is he from the Bronx or something?
Yep.
Yeah.
He's from my borough, the Bronx. And he filled in for us admirably. So now we're sitting there in, what are we in now, guys? August. We're in August, and who you think we're getting, people? I mean, come on, put your blinkers on and say, you know what? We know the guy. We know what he can do. We know what he did. He could fill 2 roles, and let's move on. Knicks fans,
what up, Eddie?
Say this, T. We're kind of bizarre. We're kind of bizarre. We wanted and wanted and wanted, and every time we get a little something, now we want the whole factory. You know, we don't want the ice cream cone no more. We want Bryant. We want the whole factory. Patience, sit back, relax.
I love Dom.
I'm sorry, guy.
Nah, listen, Dom, talk your shit, man. You got no.
He's a great fit.
Nah, I love it. I actually, when the trade happened, me and Anna was talking about it. I say, yo, this kid is gonna be he's gonna be the super secret weapon that we're gonna have when something happens. And as soon as Julius Randle went down, he was it. He was the guy. Like I remember arguing. I flipped out on the channel. We was here. We was talking Knicks to ish, and somebody did call him Lance Thomas. I went off. I was like, yo, how dare you? How dare you ever in your life compare that man to Lance Thomas? This guy completely, if it wasn't for him helping us out, we would have been in trouble. Our season would have been in trouble. You know what I mean? So, hey, listen, I'm glad that we got him back. I thought $6 million was a steal because I was telling Ann I think he's trying to get like 10, 11 million. You know, that was me talking out loud. But for him to get the 6 million, yo, I was like, okay, Leon, do your thing, bro.
Yo, Kev, I think you're right. I think that's where the disconnect was. Is probably on pay. You feel me?
Yeah.
And I think
Appreciate you.
I think Leon had to let him learn a tough lesson. Like, yo, we appreciate what you did, but the market ain't really calling for you like that, homie. Like, he had to go and see what he could go get in. And for him to take a 1-year deal shows me that the fish wasn't biting the way he thought it would. You know what I mean? And if I was Leon, I'm convinced him. You see what happened to Hartenstein. He played a whole season with us, like a whole 2 seasons with us. That could possibly be you in a backup role if you play a whole 2 seasons with us. You feel me? So take this 1-year deal. You know what I mean? This little $6 million because this is kind of what we can afford right now. And then let's see what happens in the future. But yeah, who's next?
I got
Ann or Fraz?
I think Fraz.
I got you real quick. There's 3 prongs to this $6 million signing. Number one, as Tea Time just brought up, the cap situation. Being that the other deals are gonna turn out more friendly for the organization and keep us under the second apron, that's part of the reason why he got thrown the $6 million, because it's gonna keep us under that apron. Number one. Number two, when it comes to possibly moving him in a deal for somebody else, that $6 million is gonna look a little more attractive as opposed to what he could have been with the previous deal, what he had. But the $6 million does make him a little more attractive at 1 year. I could see if it was something 2 years, more, but nah. He looks it still looks like an appealing piece for a trade offer if the Knicks want to go after somebody else. And 3, the fact he did deserve to get a little bit of a deal in it because the role he played, he played big minutes, leading up to the playoffs and the playoff run. And yeah, he deserves to be here. If he wants to be here, yeah, let's keep him here. We need to run it back with Hartenstein. Let's see how many games he played. Because Hartenstein last year he played 70-something games if I'm correct.
77, 76, something like that.
70. Yep. Yeah, I was gonna say 76, 77, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah.
He's gonna prove to be a valuable piece, especially at 4 this year. So let's see what happens. I like the way this team looking right now. Just watch out for the fast break, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. That fast break is so scary, bro. That's all I gotta
say. Right.
It's gonna be scary on that fast break, bro.
Mrs. Knicks, talk to me.
I mean, we knew it was coming. I think it more, we didn't sign him early on because we had other bigger fish to fry, right? We had to get the Jalen Brunson deal done. We had to figure out what we were going to do in getting McCall. And so now it's just a money game, right? Like, we got to see what we give him to not put us over, but still be able to continue to sign our guys, like sign Randle when that time comes. Like, we couldn't just throw him money without really knowing for sure what we were going to do with, especially Jalen. And seeing if we were gonna get Macau because we needed to see what kind of money we're gonna have to throw at him too. So
No.
that wasn't priority. And we didn't know if we were gonna get Isaiah back or not. So we have to let those
Right.
pieces fall into place before, we offered any kind of deal to him, regardless if it was a big deal or not. But we knew it was coming. He's very well deserving of it. I mean, to me, he earned that $6 million on that block on Embiid, period.
Yo,
He earned that $6 million.
yeah.
Well, I agree with that. Yeah. Man, talk
Yo,
to me.
he sent that ball. He sent that ball all the way to the third, fourth row. I always from time to time gotta share that reel because to me that was a big play in that game that he made. That a lot of people don't know, that a lot of people don't mention him. Just because he's a little undersized, they think that he can't play defense and block shots. So that's the type of sneaky player that he is. I wish and I hope that in the off season he starts shooting that three a little better because if he can add that to his game, that'll just make him way more dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with that. But, people forget that he was playing 5 in Toronto before he came to the Knicks. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and he's another one. He's a Tom Thibodeau guy, high motor. You feel me? And this is pretty much what you need from your supporting cast when you got guys like Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, that can carry the load of scoring. You feel me? What you need from everybody else, I need you to play. Excuse me. I need you to play solid defense, and I need you to be high energy. I need you to chase after loose balls. I need you to put pressure on the offensive glass. And he does all those things even at what a 6'8" frame, a 6'8", 6'9" frame. And yeah, I don't get what the cause for worry is. Like Dominic said, who you thought we was gonna get especially in this stage of the game? Who you thought we was gonna sign? Who was available for us at the price range that we needed to sign outside of Precious Achua? You can't name anybody. All they could
Nobody.
name was people that was way too expensive for us at this juncture with the people you got. You love
Agreed.
everybody else on the roster. We did everything that we needed to do to get everybody else on the roster that we have. Now you can't be mad that we got Precious Achua, and he's not. It's not like he's a bad basketball player. Like he's solid, and it was Mrs. Knicks and Kev that convinced me that you need to watch out because that's just not a throw in. And I'm like, I don't know, guys. I don't know about that, guys. And Kevin, Mrs. Knicks was in here like, nah, I'm telling you, better watch out for Precious Achua. And then when Julius Randle got hurt and he got some starter minutes there. Then iHeart got hurt. He was getting starter minutes there, and he played big minutes for us.
Yeah.
He's low key, sneakily. He's kind of a big part why we end up getting second seed because of the minutes that he played when we were hurt. He helped us win a lot of basketball games.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
The key is what you said. So you use the perfect word, motor. When the Knicks hired Tom Thibodeau, I knew one thing: Kevin Knox would never be a Knick again. I knew Kevin Knox was one foot on the banana peel, the other one out the door. Because when I sent this guy to Ford Motor Company, Chevrolet, he never came back with a motor. As soon as the Knicks hired Thibodeau, Kevin Knox was gone. Then I thought we got one more, and that's R.J. Barrett. R.J. Barrett's motor was a little, he had to go. You use the perfect word, Tony. Now you take Precious Achua, who'll run through a brick wall. He may not be who you think he's going to be, but he fits the mold. He fits the coach. He fits what we're doing. And let's roll with it. Because again, guys,
And when you
the
think
people
about
that
it,
everybody said we should get weren't available, were too expensive, or we had to sign and trade half the damn organization. So $6 million. And guess what, guys? And I'll end it on this. What a break we got. We lose Hartenstein because let's be honest, guys, we weren't going to pay him that much money. God bless him. He got his money. But now here you get Precious Achua for $6 million. Come on, guys. Tell me these folks don't know what they're doing.
Right.
I'm just saying.
And like I said all last season, if we can get our bigs to give us at least 10 points, we're good because we got scorers. We're not lacking scoring. We lacking a center, period. Regardless of how tall, not tall he is, we just needed a center. You know what I mean? Someone that can defend, someone that fits, like y'all say, the mold. He's a homegrown. He's from the Bronx. That pride is there. You know what I mean? Like, that's all we need. We don't need someone that's going to give us 20 points at the center position. We're good.
Right.
and he can give us 10 easily. Like you say, he averaged 12 points for that season when he started. So we're good. We're good. And in the play, for one, there's not a lot of teams with great centers, right? There's just a handful. And not for nothing, he held his own against Embiid in that series.
Yeah.
But here's the biggest thing, guys. Here's the most important thing. All of what we saw last year, now these guys go back to doing and being who they were before all these injuries happened.
Yep.
Now we got Precious Achiuwa. He'll give us 10 minutes, 12 minutes. Josh Hart could play backup. He don't got to play power forward for 48 minutes. This is what people are missing. It's like, we didn't need. We just needed to get our folks back in the role they were in. And we're going to do that. And I think Eddie done bumped his head.
My guy Eddie.
Oh, I'm sorry. He said 53 games for Mitch. I thought he had us winning 53 games.
Yeah. How you feel? You got anything you want to chime in for that Knickerbocker? With
Honestly,
the whole Precious situation.
I'm just glad that. Again, I'm just glad that that Leon took care of took care of a situation right there. We got a serviceable piece. It's not like he's not going to play his minutes. And besides, just look at Tom Thibodeau and how he runs the roster anyway. We're only going to go about 8 or 9 deep. Precious is going to see some minutes, and on top of that, you figure Julius Randle is going to play 35 minutes a night. You don't want him to, but he's going to play 35 minutes a night. Now, Mitchell Robinson, Eddie, I'm sorry, but he's going way down. It's under for me for Mitchell Robinson, 53 games. So with that being said, I think that Precious Achiuwa is a serviceable center. And like Anna said earlier, it's not like there's that many crazy centers out there. I mean, there's a handful. You're probably talking about maybe Joel Embiid, talk about maybe a Vucevic, here and there. I mean, maybe an Anthony Davis, but that's about it.
Listen, I got to hold on, Kev. I gotta disagree with this under for Mitchell Robinson stuff.
Thank you.
Who got under 53?
I do.
Yeah.
Who said I do?
Knickerbocker got him under 53.
I'm just saying, 4 out of the 6 years he's been in the league, he's played more minutes. I mean, more games than 53. Yeah, I mean, he played over 60 2 times, 59 1. Yeah, I mean, so I'm definitely going with the over on that. Yeah, I mean, and if Mitchell Robinson could give me a solid 60 to 65 games, I could live with that because I have adequate faith in our backups to hold us down for a good 20 games. You feel me? Like I have enough faith in Precious and dare I say it, Jericho Sims to be serviceable enough for 20 games. You feel me? For 20 games. But I don't like.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Go ahead, Dom.
I was one of them with the Mitchell Robinson thing. And then I started looking at OG Anunoby's numbers. I digress.
Yeah, listen.
Put their numbers up together, guys, and don't look at nothing else except the letter. Just look at the letter G and go down and It'll
You
be
got a good
shocking.
point.
It's very
Nah, you got a
shocking.
good point. You got a
Well,
point there. You do got a point there. I'll give you that.
You can't cheer
well
for
now.
one and bash the other. You know what I mean? You can't cheer for one and bash the other.
That's a fact. Well, now, Eddie, this is an interesting question, being that I am the parlay lord. You know, I'm the one who usually pose these type of questions. You know what I mean? So it's kind of
Eddie's really good at that. Eddie's really good at that.
He's good with
but I
Yo.
respect it. So, since we're on the subject, over under 53 games for Mitch. All right, boom. I'm gonna say this: healed from injury, when healthy, Mitch will definitely hit the over on that. And you could definitely take the parlay lord bet to the bank. All right. I'm definitely taking the over on that. I'm gonna say somewhere around 62 games for Mitch this year. All right. I'm gonna give you a number.
If
All right.
healthy, you say if healthy.
If healthy, I'm giving you 62 games.
Come on,
We're
don't
being
do my boy
honest
like
here. We're
that,
being
Angel.
realistic here, all right? We're being realistic here. If he's healthy, I'm taking that over. I'm taking that over.
Yeah. Look,
You know what I mean?
I go with the law of averages, and the law of averages say that he plays more than 53 games most of his career. You know what I mean? He only got 2 seasons with under 53 games. One, he played 31. That was in the 2020-21 season. And last year, he played 31 both times. You know what I mean? Every time other than that, he played more than 53 games. 59 in the 2020-23 season. 72 in the 21-22 season. And the first 2 seasons of his career was 66 and 61 in respective order. You feel me? So law of averages say that he's gonna play more. You know what I mean? It might not be a lot more. But he plays more. You feel me?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna be honest with you though. I really think that he took what Joel Embiid did to him to the heart. And I think because remember, you don't remember that tweet? He said, "Yo, this means war." I'll never forget that tweet. After it happened, he said, "Yo, this is war. This means war." And he said, "Yo, I'm gonna come back better than ever." So I'm gonna go with that one right there, and I'm gonna say he's gonna play 60 up to close to 65 games, 65 to 70 games.
I agree with that, Cat.
Wow.
I'll say
Okay.
I'm gonna give him that.
64. I'll say 64 as long as I don't see no more videos. I don't want to see no more videos of them look like
And he's dropping one right now.
Whoa. I'm
You
crying.
know what, guys? Think about it. Commissioner Bobblehead said you have to play 64 games to be eligible for an award. So we're going to use 64 as a measuring stick from now till the year, right? Now we ain't expecting Mitch Robinson, maybe an defensive player of the year, maybe, but that's the new standard, guys. 64 games is the new standard. So if he can give us 64 games, and that means he's healthy come playoff time, that's why I say 64 games, and we all win. But just stop the videos. Stop the Earl Monroe whirling and twirling, swishing and dishing. Matter of fact, just do all of that and find your way to the foul line and stand still and shoot a foul shot.
Yeah.
Yo, word.
Stop.
I got it. I hope this finds this way to him, because I got a theory of how he can improve as a free throw shooter. He likes to shoot line, throw free throws. Just hit the backboard. Hit the backboard. Just hit the middle of the backboard. I guarantee you he would go from 50 whatever percent he was shooting to at least 75% free throw shooter if he just hit the backboard. I gotta clip this. You feel me? I gotta clip this so I can make sure that Mitchell Robinson hear this. Yo, just hit the backboard, dog.
That's what that square is for, right? That white square.
Right.
You know what's funny is that I remember back in, what was it, like 1995 or 96, when Don Nelson was the head coach of the Knicks and Charlie Ward went to the free throw line. He actually like used the backboard, and that's probably like the last time I've ever seen somebody use the backboard at a free throw. And at the press conference, Don was so disgusted. It's like, well, you can't bank in free throws, and I'm like, why not? It's there. Why is that frowned upon? And you know, tea time, you say it right there. Why don't guys use the backboard a little bit more if you need it? I mean, if you're a back foul shooter, use the fucking backboard. What's wrong with it?
I forget it. It's some Asian country. I forget which one. In their league, that's a popular thing. Them using the backboard. And they got like super high free throw numbers in the whole entire league because it's such a popular thing for them to use the backboard on their free throws. I forget which country, but I remember that's what I got the idea from. I said, as soon as I saw it, I said, "Oh shit, Mitchell Robinson!" Like he needs.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine the conversation Charlie Ward must have had with Don Nelson? Charlie Ward was an academic All-American, a Heisman Trophy winner. You a weed smoking coach. What is he gonna say to Charlie Ward? Don't use the backboard. I mean, Charlie Ward wasn't an average dude, man. He was a highly intelligent athlete. I don't mean to sound like cliche about it, but he was. He was an academic All-American, Heisman Trophy winner. What are you going to tell this guy? And it worked, didn't it, Ab?
It did. He made them ball.
What are you going to say to this guy? I agree with you, T.
There's a lot about a coach, too, that's mad that you're making free throws.
Yeah,
it says a lot about coach. Hey, listen, Tom Thibodeau, I would if Mitchell Robinson started banking free throws and he asked Coach Thibodeau about it, I could tell you what his answer is going to be. It went in, didn't it? All right, next question.
Facts.
You know,
you got a point.
And the good thing is, G, he's so tall that it's almost beneficial for him because he's tall. His arms are longer. He's kind of got that upper body.
And he shoot line drives,
man.
And he shoot line drives. You feel me? Like, so you know. But keeping in the theme of what we were just talking about, I was going to save that for later. But the over and under situation started. So let's keep that going with the answer.
Word. If Eddie, if you there, what's your over and under, Eddie? Give us your Eddie. Shout out to Smitty, man. Appreciate you for pulling up, Smitty.
I've been meaning to shout this guy out for a minute, but I keep it inside check. Shout out to Colin Brown.
Shout out Colin Brown. Welcome.
We appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe and all that good stuff. Yeah, I mean, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. You heard? But yeah, moving along with absolutely, you know the vibes. But moving along with the over and under theme. Was it
Well, you might as well let me take the lead on this.
Is the over and under for total wins for us this season?
The only reason why I said take the lead because from what I saw on ESPN Bet, they got the over and under for the Knicks win total at 53.5. So
wow.
Since you want to start it off, I'm gonna let you start it off. Over under for the New York Knicks this season, 53.5. Talk to us.
You know we going over.
Yeah.
You know we going over. I'm talking 60, at least 60. I'm talking 60 because Randle and McCall gonna give us 10 games.
Right.
And we're gonna leave it right there.
And I'm gonna show y'all I didn't lie because I was telling Anna before y'all came on. I actually take notes before we start. I don't know if y'all can see it. I have the Knicks at 64 wins.
Yeah.
Over 60.
That was yesterday when you sent me the information. I got them at 64 wins. Again, we're taking all of those guys that busted their ass last year and we're putting them back in their role. If Randle stays healthy, I mean, that's again, ifs and ands and pots and pans. But if you get Randle and Brunson and OG, now you got Mikal Bridges, who's going to play 105 games. You add that in there. So even if OG does go down for a spell, Mikal Bridges will be Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby. So you can't tell me they're gonna win less than 60 games. No.
Facts.
No way.
Facts.
No way.
Okay. Wait.
And,
So before
and whose bench is fucking with our bench at this point?
Yeah.
Here, now let me throw another interesting number out there to add on to this now, right? So the odds of the Knicks winning the NBA title went from plus 5,000 to plus 600 with the addition of Mikal Bridges and the loss of Hartenstein. So now, with that also being said, for the rest of us that haven't answered yet, over under 53.5. Yo, Kev, talk to us, Kev.
I'm with 60. I might even say 65, bro. 65, bro. I'm gonna say 65.
65 and 17. That's an interesting number, you know. I will say this as far as how I feel, right? When I saw that bet on ESPN bet,
you put money on it. You put
it
money
like
on
this
it.
way. I jumped on it immediately. I'm sorry. I jumped on it immediately. It was too good to pass up right then and there. I put $50 on it. All right. I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. So you hearing it here first on ESPN Bet, because I do have that as well. I have that. I have an account for ESPN Bet. I got $50 that the Knicks go over 53.5 wins with ease.
That's easy money.
With ease. Get ready to cash the parlay Lord out. Y'all know the vibe, bro.
Knickerbocker Ave, what you think?
Talk to me, Knickerbocker.
I got the Knicks modestly winning 64 wins this season. I don't know. I think that there's, the East did get a little bit better. I mean, Philadelphia looks nice. If healthy, they can give us a run, but that's a big if, because Embiid and George are both, injury prone to death. Boston's just got older. Chicago's worse. Milwaukee's older. Yeah, 64, 65 wins is good for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't look at the division, guys, because it's topsy-turvy, because now we got to – if we're going to look at everybody in the Eastern Conference, which we should, don't get me wrong, but once we start doing that, then we're starting to say, all right, how many games is George going to play? And because Ab just said it. George, Embiid, injury prone. So we're looking at that already. I'm just looking at who we got. Who we got, how we match up. And again, I'll beat this horse to death. Now we got the guys going back to the roles they were supposed to be in. No other team's going to do that, guys. Everybody that's adding pieces, whether it's to the starting lineup or the bench. Who do we add? Mikal Bridges?
Right.
Yep.
What an add. What an add to add. I mean, so you could go to all the Sixers got 3 players, no bench. The Celtics are, let's be honest, guys. I don't want to rain on their little Irish parade, but they've been winning the championship for 6 years. Okay, they hit pay dirt this year, but to me, they're still a you shoot, I shoot, you shoot, I shoot team. That's the makeup of Brown and Tatum. You shoot, I shoot. It's sort of like
we got 2
Durant and
defenders
Westbrook.
now that can defend them, though.
Yeah, now we got guys that match up with them, but who matches up with Julius Randle?
Nobody. I'm gonna say it again. Nobody.
Exactly.
In the words of the great Keith Sweat, nobody, baby.
That's how I look at the number of wins. What we have. Yes, we have to play these teams, but again, you take everything we just said, all the teams we just said in the Eastern Conference. Who's checking Julius Randle? On any one of those teams in the East, who's checking Julius Randle?
Nobody.
Jason Tatum?
No.
Please.
No.
Paul George?
He got a post.
Please.
He got a
The
post
only
on
one
Jason.
the only one I will give a little leeway to, and he's got a little wear and tear on him now too. The Greek Freak. He might be the only power forward that I would give a chance. I didn't say he's going to. He's the only one I would give a chance. After him, there's nobody.
We saw last season Julius Randle give him work.
Right, but he's the only one I'm saying, T.
Moving Giannis straight out the way. I've never seen nobody move Giannis straight out the way Julius Randle was doing it consistently, like he did last season before he got hurt.
As the great Kev would say, little. When it comes to Julius Randle, they all
always going to be our difference,
little.
No matter what people say, no matter how much they hate this guy, he's always going to be the difference maker on our team.
Right.
I don't want to hear this shit. How does Julius Randle fit in with Mikal Bridges and Dante DiVincenzo? They're good players. They're not Julius Randle. Okay, let's put this shit back in perspective. How are they going to work with Julius Randle is the question, not vice versa. He's always going to be our odd guy and guess what, guys? I said this the last time I met y'all. When Julius Randle had that bad playoff season, we had nobody on our team. So, yes, he shot well from three. And he didn't shoot well from three. And then the next year he didn't. But now he don't got to do that. We got shooters. We didn't have shooters. I think it was my man in the middle said, Alfred Payton. Who the hell was on that team that you wanted to take an outside shot? Maybe Bullock. Maybe Reggie Bullock. Right? Maybe, kind of. But who was that after? I mean,
Alec Burks.
Everybody goes back to doing what they're doing. And that's going to be the difference. I don't give a shit who we play. The difference is now they got to play us at full strength. The Knicks was a Julius Randle away from going to the conference finals.
That's a fact.
Period. That's a fact. I know I missed a lot in this conversation. What was the official over under?
53.5.
Oh, well, y'all know my motto on this situation: 60-win season loaded. What are we talking about here?
Yeah.
60-win season loading. Like, again, I missed a lot of conversation, so I might reiterate or repeat some of the things y'all already said, but adding Mikal Bridges was a big freaking deal, bro. Like, I don't know what Don was saying is like, when you're talking about, I don't know who, somebody got crazy background noise. But when you look at how most of these guys play, that was Mrs. Knicks. Oh, you look at how most of these guys play, they fit perfectly. Because Julius Randle is really the only inside threat we got. He's really, except for, Brunson, because Brunson does a lot of his damage in the paint as well. But those two guys are really the only inside threat we got, and we have shooters around these guys now. You look at Mikal Bridges; he was shooting close to 40 or over 40% from three last season. We've seen what OG does from the corners. One of the best in the league shooting from the corners from the 3-point line. And then you look at the bench, and the guys that's coming off the bench is shooters. Everybody fits perfectly, and you have an absolutely dog, pit bull, bully in the paint in Julius Randle. How could you not say this doesn't work? And we had a small sample size last year in the month of January when Julius Randle was playing outside of his mind.
What a sample size.
Yeah, what a sample.
Best basketball of his career because
20
he didn't have
games?
to do everything. He didn't have to be the primary playmaker. He didn't have to be the best 3-point shooter on the team. Like, he didn't have to do all these things, and he got back to the essence of what made Julius Randle who he is to this day, which I'm stronger than you. I'm getting to the basket. There's nothing you could do about it.
18
but another good thing is them other guys you mentioned, T, they can still get to the basket. OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges. And let's not forget, I brought this up when I was with y'all last time. In that sample size we had with OG Anunoby and Julius Randle, that was the most incredible record-breaking double plus-minus between two guys in NBA history. I think their plus-minus together was a 138. That's never been done before.
That's a fact.
Never. And that was a sample size, as you keep saying, T. Sample size. Now
20 games.
Yeah, now we're going for the big Snickers. We ain't getting the little piecey Snickers. We're going for the big one. Put it in the refrigerator. Get it nice and cold.
Yo,
We got guys that are versatile, guys. That's the point. You know, DiVincenzo could go to the basket. Hart could go to the basket. Everybody can go to the basket. Now, Julius Randle's going to drag your ass to the basket, but...
Your dog. Check it. I know you are elder statesman, but I know you don't play this. I know you don't play this game, but I do. Pause. Yo. I usually when I'm talking, I usually be like, all right, you know, I know he don't play the game, but the big and little Snickers, that was just too much. But you know, we mentioned earlier about the Celtics and how we matched up against the Celtics. Oh, we're gonna give them work, especially in the regular season without Porzingis being there for most of the season. You know what I mean? Because to me, he's their X factor with, you know, his size and his ability to shoot the three. Yeah, I mean, but without him being there, they really got, to me, if everybody else is healthy on our roster, they got nothing for us. They got nothing for us.
Listen, they can't stretch the floor like they normally do with that two-man game if Porzingis is not in the lineup, all right? Because we all know when they go Tatum Porzingis two-man game, that's what they do in the teams. They trying to set it up so they could have that.
And Tatum is a mismatch hunter. You feel me? Yeah. Like I'm not sold on him. Yeah, I mean, he don't like to shoot the ball unless he has a mismatch. You feel me? And when you look at our roster, unless they're going to try to run a pick and roll to get Jalen Brunson switched on him every time Jason Tatum get the ball, it's quiet for him because who else is going to switch on? Who else?
Their X factor. Their X factor guys is Drew Holiday. He proved it in Milwaukee. He proved it in Boston. Milwaukee was knocking on the door, couldn't open it. Boston was knocking on the door, couldn't open it. Here comes Drew Holiday. I will say this, guys, I am not nowhere near a Celtic fan, but Drew Holiday is the best two-way player in the National Basketball Association.
And guess what? Jalen Brunson give him work. Jalen Brunson give him work.
Again, there goes our strength against their strength. Against any other team, Drew Holiday is going to dominate because of the way he plays. I never realized how physical he was for his size. I'm not going to never take nothing away from Drew Holiday.
I watched Drew Holiday come into the league. As I said before here on Knicks, he was one of my favorite players watching him come up in the league.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was only a matter of time before he got to this level of being a player of this caliber. I watched him in college and I watched him in his first few years. He had that potential and he still has a great amount of potential being so young.
Remember something, guys. Other than his breakout season with the Knicks, who did Julius Randle have his best season playing with?
Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday with the
Pelicans. Yeah, with New Orleans. Word.
All we kept saying is get Randle a point guard. Remember, we kept saying this, going back to how we started this show. All the things we wanted, needed, begged for, and now we got him.
Yeah.
Drew Holiday actually introduced us to what Julius Randle could do with a point guard.
And that season actually had me on this channel before it is what it is now. Telling people that Julius Randle could be a 25-point per game scorer. People thought I was crazy. Thought I was crazy. And I said it was possible. And look where we are today. And I was high. My problem back then was I was higher on Elfrid Payton than I should have been.
Whoa.
You feel me? I was higher on him than I should have been.
Whoa.
He showed some flashes in Orlando. Yeah, I mean, but in hindsight, anybody could look good on a bad team. You feel me?
Right.
But nonetheless, it was predicated around the point guard. Why I thought Julius Randle could be a 25-point per game scorer. I thought Elfrid Payton, even though he wasn't a scorer, he was a solid defender and a decent enough passer to help Julius Randle get to the goal of being a 25-point per game scorer. Then insert Jalen Brunson, and then we get 25 points per game Julius Randle. You know what I mean? But to sum up the whole over under, I don't know if everybody spoke on the topic yet.
We did.
Yeah.
All right.
We did.
So the sum up.
Actually, we could lead into the Julius Randle extension.
Yeah, we here. We here, Kev.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. 60 win season loading, y'all. I just want to keep on saying it. So when it happens, everybody know. T-Tom said this, 60 win season loading. But yeah, leading into the possibility of Julius Randle getting an extension. Somebody hit me with the numbers of what it could be if he signed out.
180
What you
something.
mean possibility? You mean when it happens?
4 years, 80 something million.
Three years.
He can sign a 4-year, $181.5 million deal. That's the maximum he can sign right now. If he waits till next year, if he waits till next year, it's a 5-year deal worth $239 million.
Yeah, I was about to say 240.
Yeah. So, all right. So now the question is for most people, and what it seems to be like the consensus with most Knicks fans is that they don't see him taking a pay cut or taking that. Listen, he took the word literally, the words, grabbed it like this. Ha! Ha! He already did it. The man has stated that the most important thing for him is to win here. You know what I mean? He wants to win a championship as a New York Knickerbocker. And I think him and Jalen Brunson already understand the fact if they bring a championship to New York, the possibilities is endless for them. It's endless. They could write their own check on, like their next deal. They could look at the Knicks organization if Leon Rose is still the president and be like, hey, I want all my money. And they're going to give it to him because you did something that couldn't been done, that hasn't been done in 50 plus years. You know what I mean? So I think that he's going to bank on himself. He's going to bank on the situation that we have surrounded him, that the organization has put him in a very favorable position to actually compete for a championship. And I think he signs an extension for 180, whatever it is. You know what I mean? But I'm interested to hear what the panel have to say in keeping with the theme of the night, Knickerbocker. Let's talk about it.
Well, Julius Randle, the sad thing about it is that he deserves every dollar that he would be due to earn. 4 years at $181.5 million is a lot of money, and I mean that would only start after next year. And you know, if the team is trying to be able to retain Mikal Bridges going forward, Dante DiVincenzo going forward, Josh Hart going forward, and then continue to add on pieces. And of course, you got to pay Jalen Brunson eventually because he took a pay cut now. When his deal is up, you got to give him his supermax. So I see Julius Randle taking a pay cut. I don't know how much of a pay cut he's willing to take, but I do honestly. I'm with you, T-Tom. I feel like he's gonna want to take substantially less. Maybe not as much as what Jalen did, but he's gonna take He's gonna take a haircut. Maybe up to $10 to $12 million a year, just to make sure that this team still has some financial flexibility going forward. Now, how does that work with OG Anunoby? Because we did just give him $212 million. I don't know. I mean, where was his pay cut? Now you're expecting Julius to take one. I don't know. But I really do. I feel he'll do it. I think that his wife and his family love it here in New York. I think that he's beloved in New York. I think he feels that this is where he's going to win a title. This is where he's going to be immortalized. He's going to be, bigger than what Carmelo Anthony ever was. Since Carmelo Anthony never won here, really, if Julius does, he will have surpassed Carmelo Anthony in that aspect, and I think that's something he really wants to do. I mean, that's the mentality that I got from the interview that he had with Melo on his podcast. So I think that's exactly what he wants to do.
Yeah, interject. That right there, what you just said, to me is the biggest key. The fact that he knows he's going to be immortalized, and he can't do that nowhere else. Winning a championship here, I don't care wherever he go after his career, and he's a part of a winning. If he leaves and goes somewhere else and win a championship, he knows it's not going to be the same. It's not going to put him in the same conversations as it would if he won here. You know what I mean? Dominic, talk to me.
One, I think if he signs this extension, he'll never go nowhere. He will be a Knick for life, and he'll end up taking that on the low deal again.
Yeah, Uncle Paulie.
He's 30 years old. We ain't going nowhere.
Yo, Uncle Paulie, we love you too, man, for real.
Right.
Yeah,
But go to the bathroom, man.
Even let's say he does win a ring, he's going to stay. I mean, he's 30 years old, guys. I mean, what did you say, Av? This contract would be what, 3-4 years?
4 years, 181 at the max.
He'll be 34. So he'll start going. I'm not saying his game, but I think again his goal was to come here. Because remember, guys, he came here when nobody else wanted to come here, and he came here on his own. No knock against all the Melo junkies, cheerleaders. You know, we didn't do that with Melo. We sold the farm to get Melo, and we never got no product out of that farm. You know, all we did was give up stuff and never. He came here on his own. We didn't have nobody except, say it again, T, Alfred Payton. That being said, if he wins a chip, he ain't going nowhere, guys. He'll take this $40-something million, and then after that, he'll be in the what's his name? The shooter on Golden State. Klay Thompson. He'll be in Klay Thompson's zone after that for the end of his career.
Oh yeah.
But as a Knick.
Yeah, you know, Knickerbocker said it too. His family loves it here.
Yeah.
His son became a celebrity under the New York Knicks umbrella. His son loves. I think his son loves him being a Knick. You know what I mean?
And listen, shout out to his mom because his mom follows us on Knicks Twitter and on Instagram.
That is a fact. That is a fact.
Shout out to Mama Randall.
Mama Randall on deck. Shout out Mama Randall.
We're going to have to clip that so we can make sure we post that for Mama Randall. You know what I mean? We're going to have to clip that. Yeah.
And she fine too, dude. I got to put it up there. She fine as hell.
Yeah. Hope that guy got to go to the bathroom again.
Whatchamacallit? Fraz, talk to me.
Here, I'm gonna say it for y'all real quick. Look, check this out, right? This is where I feel it's gonna land. 4 years, 150 to 160. Randall is gonna take a deal somewhere in that neighborhood, and the fact that remember the CBA ends after this coming season. So it's going to be a whole nother rewrite of the CBA where it's going to go up again, the salary cap. So with that being said, I'm going to give Randall 4 years, 150 to 160, and declining years contracts.
Front loaded. Pause.
Back.
Yeah.
You know what? He makes a great point. Not to comment. He makes a great point, and especially what we're seeing right now with NBC, ESPN, and what's his name? Amazon. We're talking billions of dollars, guys. And that 50, 40, 55 split shit. Come on, that's why I told y'all guys, and I'm gonna stop. That apron, that napkin, them tablecloths, that wasn't gonna be shit in 2 years. I told y'all that when I met y'all. Y'all keep watching those napkins and tablecloths, and let's see what happens. That shit's out the window, fellas. Gone. It didn't even get off the ground, and it's gone.
That's a fact.
With this money they're bringing in, oh shit.
Yeah.
We're talking billions of dollars.
I'll be right back.
I'm sorry, TNT.
Nah, you good.
Job well done.
Fuck TNT.
Facts.
Yeah,
Say it again.
sorry. Job well done.
Fuck TNT.
I didn't like them anyway.
Those guys up.
Yes.
Up.
Yes.
Pack them up. That's what they get.
Fuck you, Barkley. The only person I feel bad for is Ernie Johnson. Fuck Kenny Smith. Fuck.
No, I don't feel
fuck
bad. I
Charles
don't
Barkley.
feel sorry.
Nah, Shaq be hating on us too. Fuck you, Shaq. Shaq, you be hating
Fuck
on
you,
us.
Shaq.
Hard
Fuck
body,
off.
bro.
The good thing about
Oh.
Ernie Johnson, guys, he's a lifer with TNT, TBS. He'll be there doing baseball and whatever they have on their network. He ain't.
I'm sure AEW's hiring.
Damn, man.
I'm dead.
Talk to me about the Julius Randle extension.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on you,
I mean,
sis.
I think there's no doubt he's staying. Like, I'm not even worried about him not coming back. Will he take less? Yes, a little bit less. How much less? I don't know. But I agree with you, Fraz, and we talked about it on the side. I think it's going to be a reverse contract. Because you think about all the guys we re-signed that we've given their extensions already, they have the regular contract. I think Julius and Macau are probably going to be reverse contracts. And the other thing that I watch, especially with our big guys, because I did it with Brunson, is his endorsements have gone up. He has a shitload of endorsements now that he didn't have last season, which makes up money the same way that they're setting him up to sign that smaller deal the way they set up Jalen. So right now, Julius has
Skechers is going to pay him too.
He has a player edition sneaker coming out with
Right.
Skechers. Not like he's just signed to them. He got a sneaker coming out.
Yeah. I was just about to say that.
With them like for the last 2 weeks.
I was about to just say that one word, Skechers. It's the F.
Yes.
Let me tell you
Stay
something.
tuned. Julius Randle will be on the next edition of Law and Order SVU.
Oh, shit. Fucking Christ.
And the next Turner movie.
Skechers, Miss Dix will have them.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact.
So no, he got his sneaker deal. He got his sneakers coming out. He been on tour with Skechers like the last 2 weeks out in Europe. He got a Mountain Dew deal, Levi's, JBL Audio, Celsius, Whistle Sports, NYC Health, JD Sports. Now remember, JD Sports has him and his son.
That's
so
facts.
that's 2 incomes coming in from that one thing, and something called Vroom. So, and I keep looking, and I'm like, they keep adding to this list, which is outside money that's going to make up for that money he got to set aside. But I think he understands, like you said, T-Time, what it's going to mean to win in New York. He wins in New York. His jersey's going up in the rafters. He's going to be the king of New York along with JB. There's nothing like winning in New York.
That's a
He
fact.
will never want for anything in the city, in the state. None of that.
Yo,
It's good. I'll set up a spot right there.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Got the 69,
That's
70. I'm done. He got the 69, 70 world title, man. I'm done.
Nah, that's fire right there.
That's real Knicks fan shit.
But to compound on Mrs. Nick's point, that all those endorsement deals came when he became a Knick.
Yeah.
When he started to promote, help build a winning culture as a Knickerbocker, this is where all this extra bread started coming in. And if we continue to be successful, he knows that there's only more extra bread coming in. And you got a GM that was a former agent that knows the business, and be like, yo, listen, we trying to give you this, but I can help ease the blow of pause of losing all that extra money in the extension. I can help ease that. I might not be able to make up all of that, but I could make up a lot of that. You feel me? I can point you in the right direction. You know what I mean? He left CCA, right? Or did he come back?
He came back.
He came back.
He came back. He left last season and came back.
Oh yeah, he's staying.
Lock. Can we just say a lock?
Sierra Mafia.
He's a lock at this point, ladies and gentlemen.
And to get into the, we always have this conversation here on Knicks Ish because we are Julius Randle supporters here. You know what I mean?
Whole pass.
For anybody who think that we shouldn't resign him, you guys are dumb. I'm tired of
fan cards.
Yeah, I'm tired of trying to explain it to you guys.
I'm gonna ask y'all again.
I'm pretty sure that again, Fred's my fault.
My bad for cutting you off, T-Time. I'm gonna ask y'all again. Where you gonna replace 25 and 10 at? Y'all still ain't tell me. I'm still waiting.
I say that all the time.
And they think that people get this misconstrued when ain't nothing to misconstrue when I say this. I mean exactly what I say. There's only 3 other people in the league that averages 25, 10, 5. That's Embiid, that's Joker, that's Giannis, and Julius Randle. And 3 out of 4 of them were MVPs. That's all I'm saying. 3 out of 4 of those guys are MVPs. So you want to trade and get rid of a guy who's in the same company as 3 of the last 4 MVPs.
Not to mention the same guy that torched Denver for 20-some points in the first quarter in Denver. Don't tell me I'm lying. I watched the game with the whole gang. 22 points in the first quarter in Denver. Remember this, people.
You always hear, let's trade Julius Randle. And then it stops. It stops right there.
It stops because they can't
don't
tell
say,
us for who.
Let's trade Julius Randle for.
I'm still waiting for them to tell me.
Mute.
I've heard so many different names.
That leads me to believe, guys. Hence the reason I can't. We had this conversation before we went live.
Wait.
Listen to all that chitter chatter. It'll melt your brain because it's obvious that people are just looking for clicks. I said this again when I first met you. Knicks for clicks used to be aimed at us. Now it's aimed by us. So that's what it is now. I want to be right, whether I'm right now or 4 years from now. I just want to be right on Julius Randle.
That was a bar, Dominic. That was a bar. Yeah,
And I'll say this. Y'all know me. I'm superstitious as hell. The last time we traded, one of our main guys, we got screwed for 20 years. We can't do that again. We can't do that again.
I think, for one, and then you got to even look deeper into just the numbers. You know what I mean? And the money aspect. When you hear about and talk about the organization as a whole, it's in glowing review. From the coach to Leon Rose to what do you call him, Uncle Worldwide West. You feel me? Like he loves the organization and he loves the position that he's in. I don't see him like I'm already $100 million there. I need every last single penny I need to go to a situation that's not going to be as favorable to me. This is a favorable situation. I don't see anywhere else that's going to give Julius Randle for him to continue to compete, right? Like continue to be a championship contender. There's no other situation out there. One that got the money that he would be giving up the money that he'll be getting to leave us. Yeah, I mean, like that 200 and something contract. I don't see too many. There's not too many teams that's going to contend that could give him that bread.
No.
Yeah, I mean.
And you know what? You know what would really feel good for him, T? Knowing that I started this. It was me. It was me that came here and said, you know what, Fries? I don't care if you don't want to come in. Anna, I don't care what you said about the Knicks for 15 years. I'm going to take that leap of faith. He did that. Yeah. He did that. And you know what's the weirdest thing, guys? Other than the bubble, what we heard so much about this Rob Pelinka guy with the Lakers. He was an agent. He was going to know everybody. All of these stories we heard, guys, and I told y'all the last time I was with y'all, all these stories we've been hearing, and we seem to be lapping this. It's funny that we don't have no drama, but the Lakers do. Miami with their culture and Marlon the Magician as the coach. And here we are. Here we are. We were the laughing stock of the NBA 5 years ago, guys. 5 damn years ago. But who broke that chain? It was Julius Randle, people. Whether you like him, hate him, whatever. He took that leap, man. Me and Av had this conversation back when he was a free agent. I told him and Steve that Julius Randle's coming to the Knicks. He's going to come to the Knicks, and all we're going to need is Tom Thibodeau. And that shit happened just like we said it. And now look at us, guys.
What do you expect from a guy who basically had Kobe Bryant as his mentor in LA, which people keep forgetting about as well? And I keep telling people that.
You can't. Again, guys, there's no knock against any other deal we've ever made with the Amari Stoudemires, the Melos. That was the past, man. This guy came to us healthy, young, physical, hungry, and he took that shit to the biggest stage in the NBA. Enough said. And he's going to give us another hometown discount. Everybody sit back and shut up. Just go wherever TNT goes, you go with them. Just follow TNT and
say it again for the people in the back, Dom. Say it again for the people in the back.
Stop it, man, please.
Yo.
I don't even think Patrick
he could have easily left.
10 and 5.
When he had that rough season and we were all on his ass, myself included, he could have said, but he didn't. He didn't. We would have had any major guy on our team that we did that to that would be like, yo, get me out of here. Get me out of here, because there's not guys in the league built to play in our city. Our city ain't for everybody.
And you're going to catch feelings because he shot you the bird? We going there now? We that soft? You catching feelings because he said.
Today. We here today. Because I was literally.
All I'll say, T, is the conversation always ends with, let's trade T. They don't even say 4. Let's just trade Randle, and the conversation goes mute. So they don't say for Knickerbocker Ave. They don't say for Kawhi Leonard. They just say trade Randle.
So
I'm sorry.
Julius Randle said it. He's like, yo, that internet stuff ain't real, because when he walks the city, it's nothing but love. And like you said earlier, Dom, it be for clicks. Listen, there's people that I know and I like as people, and they're Knick content creators, so I'm not gonna put their name out there because I like them. You know what I mean? But they're trying to make a living off of the Julius Randle hate train. You know what I mean? Like, I see it. That's all they post. It's Julius Randle hate. You know what I mean? So it's not really real and based in reality. That they don't really hate him. This is how they eat.
Right.
Nobody's above it. You know what I mean? Because my guy Kev, he's not here. He got in an argument on social media. I heard y'all was talking about it backstage. He got in a heated argument with somebody because they felt that other people are above Knicks for clicks. Nobody's above it.
Word.
If you create content, you create the content for people to click on it. And especially if you monetize, it's off season. You have nothing else to talk about. What you going to do? You're going to talk about what gets the people agitated or hot or cold, whatever it's going to be. And that's all it is. Yeah. That's all it is.
But now,
and the names they throw out, because they do throw out names. I've seen trade packages for Julius Randle that's absolutely asinine, ridiculous. Doesn't make sense. Any same person who watched the game of basketball couldn't possibly make these trade packages, but these people do it because they know what? No matter what side of the spectrum you're on, you're going to comment, you're going to click, you're going to have an hour-long discussion about it, because it's the most polarizing thing for New York Knicks fans. Because 2 years ago, he said, he told y'all to shut the fuck up. Y'all deserved it at that time. I ain't gonna lie, we did. Y'all booed the man.
And you know what's crazy? Like,
How long
You
can
go
you
back
say
and
the
watch
same
Melo
thing, though?
on Paul George podcast, and he basically told us to shut the fuck up too. But everybody loves Melo.
Now he did it by dropping 62 points. His
He
shut the fuck
did.
up.
But guess what? Randall's doing it by getting us wins too.
Facts.
Look,
Not just personal records. We're winning as a team with Randall.
Yeah. And
you know what, T-Time? I'm sorry.
Now you good.
You mentioned because Don mentioned the Knicks for clicks, and you mentioned about the content creators. Now, I've had my page for now, it's like 13, 14 years, something like that, on Facebook. And then Anna was the one that actually got me in Instagram and Twitter and everything else. I've always tried to put myself out there as somebody, that just spoke the truth. Didn't want to put out, I want this, I want that. I just want to put out the facts and let that conversation speak for itself. Every person that I talk to that says trade Randall, the first question out of my mouth is, for who? And then they'll give me a list, and I'm like, okay, so
he makes 60 mil.
He makes 60 million. This guy played only 43 games last season. This guy still has yet to play a game for the team that he currently plays on. He chokes in the playoffs. This guy is like, he's going to retire in about he's like on his last wheel. What are we talking about? And see, a lot of content creators will put that out there just for the clicks, just for the comments, I don't really, me personally, I can give two flying fucks about a like or a comment, just to get, just to get comments. I like to have great spirited debates. So if there's somebody on this chat or on any chat in the world, if you could come up to me with a reasonable trade package for a guy that averages 24 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, is a 2-time All-Star in the last 3 seasons, and won the Most Improved Player award, I would love to hear it and make it make sense. I dare any content creator, no matter what platform, Knicks Fan TV, fucking Nick of Time, I'm calling them out. I'm calling them all out. I dare any Knicks now on chat sports. I don't care. Marshall Green, I love him to death, but dude, give me an actual trade package that makes sense, and then I will listen.
Knickerbocker, let's add to that. He does all that and makes less than 30 mil a season.
Yeah.
He's not in the top 50 highest paid in the NBA, which is crazy.
But wait.
I wish y'all were here before the show started.
What they want to do is what we be saying they did with Melo. You're going to give away a $30 million player. You want a $60 million player. So what that means, we gutting the team again. We setting ourselves back. Come on now.
But wait, they still haven't told me yet.
Who?
All right, Knickerbocker. They still haven't told me yet, and I've been waiting.
Don't worry, I'll wait. I'll sit here and I'll wait for it.
We still waiting.
Hold on. Yo, Dominic, go ahead, Dominic.
Let's rewind that though. We can always say the who, but we got to get to the point where we say why. Why would we want to do that?
Yeah.
Who we're going to get. You know what? Not to get biblical, but there's a scripture in the Bible. I'm not just paraphrasing. It's sort of like, what are you gaining with likes if you're going to lose your soul? But in sports phrase, what do you gain with likes and you diss your team? Not lose your soul, but diss your team for a like. Again, let's get beyond who we're going to trade Julius Randle for. And let's ask ourselves, why the hell would we do that? This is the guy that was the cornerstone of this. We don't have nothing without him. Not only players, but financially. He gave us that leeway to say, you know what, we can get Fries, we can get T. We can spend money on other than Julius Randle. 25, 5, and 10. And like Anna said, making less than $30 million a year. Give me the why. Give me the why, guys. I don't even want to hear who we're trading. Tell me why we're doing that.
Because you can't. There's no why. And he went and let Jalen Brunson, no, we wanted him over here. He went that playoff game and sat in Dallas knowing we were going to get fined and said, fuck that fine. He needs to know we want him in New York.
And that was about, and I was about to talk about false narratives. You feel me? And that was a brilliant point because wasn't even thinking about that when I was thinking about the statement I was about to make. But yeah, the false narratives of why, like you asked Dominic, why these people will say because he's not a team player, because he hates on Jalen Brunson, because he's a locker room cancer. All the things that have already been proven to be false by his teammates.
Right.
When they talk about he's a locker room cancer and he was hating on RJ, he was hating on Obi, those guys would be like, nah. Julius is the first one to give me advice on how to get better on my game, what I could be doing better and things like that. They try to say he hates on Jalen Brunson, but again, to Mrs. Nick's point, if he was hating that they was going to bring a guy that they knew they was going to try to make a star here, he would have never agreed to go sit at the Dallas game with Leon Rose. He never decided to do that. That was a great show of, hey, you got support here also, not from just the management. The number one guy currently on the team wants you to pull up.
And when Brunson was hurt, was it earlier last season or the season before, one of the 2 seasons, Julius called him and was like, bro, I need you to come back. Hurry up.
Right. That's right.
Facts. Didn't one game when Brunson came back, Julius Randle like hugged him or something like that because he had a big game or something like that. Like,
he had a 30-piece that game.
And the crazy part is, it's the Knicks fans that be trying to cause a divide amongst the Knicks players, which is weird. It's weird to me.
But Tony T, when you look at it, man, and I've gotten to the point now, I told Anna and them earlier that I'm here for the petty. You know, I'll see somebody doing a Knicks space on Twitter, and because I have nothing to do it all day to do it, I'm here for the petty. I will get on there and just beat the petty in the ground. Damn, bro. You told me 4 years ago the Knicks should trade Julius Randle. You told me last year they should trade Julius Randle. You told me this year. How long can you milk this cow before you say, man, this cow is dead? Let me put this cow out the pasture. How about you change your record and say, what can we do with Julius Randle? You won't do that. Because somewhere down the road, hypothetically, the Knicks trade Julius Randle, and that one guy can say, I said that. Yeah, you said that shit 8 years ago. Julius Randle on the senior tour now. He's playing the senior PGA, but you're still on that kid. Stop, guys. Stop. Again, give me the why. Just give me why we should do this, and I'll go to bed.
And this is also prime Julius Randle we're talking about here. Right? This is prime Julius Randle. This is not, you know what I mean? This is his prime years right now.
Monster.
Yeah.
Who have we had that played like this, guys? Serious.
Nobody, baby.
There you go, Keith. I've been watching the Knicks a long time, and I have not seen a player like this.
Yeah. You know, to sum up this topic so we can move on, we got like 2 more topics to talk about. When the subject of Julius Randle, I get it. He's not a perfect basketball player, and I understand that. You know what I mean? For you not to want him to resign or believe that he will resign, it's an ulterior motive. You feel me? And that ulterior motive has nothing to do or align with the Knicks' success. You feel me? Like, because if you're thinking about wanting your team to be successful, you want Julius Randle to stay a part of this team. Because the production you get from Julius Randle, and it's kind of also ties in with the backup center in the precious situation in Mitchell Robinson, you also got a power forward that's going to give you 10-plus rebounds. Not too many of those guys. You know what I mean? Power forward. That's going to give you 10-plus rebounds. That's going to put pressure on the offensive glass as well as being a scoring threat, right? So when you talk about success of the Knicks moving forward, you need Julius Randle to take this 180 something 4 years or Whatever discount that he's going to take, you need to take that. You're hoping to the moons, you're praying to whatever God you're praying to that Julius Randle signs his extension, because to me, this is the championship. Julius Randle resigning. This is the championship. You know what I mean? Because there's no guarantee that we're gonna win this year. I think we're gonna win this year, but there's no guarantee that we're gonna win this year. So you're gonna need to be able to keep Julius Randle at a discount, and God forbid we don't win, be able to add more pieces to what we already have. You know what I mean? And if you disagree with that, you do not have the Knicks' best interest at heart. You know what I mean? And go somewhere.
When you add the pieces up, T, let's say he signs a 4-year contract. That puts us right in the 3 to 4 year window. Let's say we don't win it this year. Let's just be a little hypothetical ourselves. We don't win it this year. But you know what? When have we been able to say we can win it? This is what always annoys me, guys. I put my Knick hat on too many times that I'm to the point where I'm saying shit that we couldn't say 5 years ago, man. I'm not even going back to our shitty days. I'm going back 5 years ago. We couldn't say none of the stuff we're talking about right now. None of it. And we're sitting here talking about getting rid of, and you know what else you didn't mention, T? The other guys that average 25, 10 to 5, 2 of them won a chip. Not only MVPs, 2 of them won a championship.
That's a fact. Yep. I did not mention that. That's 100% fact. They won the championship.
What are we talking about? You know, what are we actually? We're really just talking. Let's put it to bed. We're really just talking. You got the haves that like to have him, and the don'ts that don't want him for no apparent reason except your own little whatever you call it, content creation or whatever it is. Let's just put the cards on the table. You just don't want him on the Knicks.
Crazy part, these are the same people that rooted for.
I will say this, guys, and I'm gonna shut up. You tell me right now, with Julius Randle, we ain't going to the conference finals last year. You think the Pacers are beating us with Julius Randle? Really?
I don't think Boston would have.
Come on, but
that's a fact.
There goes all the people that talk shit. They started hiding after Game 7. They started looking for a new outlet because you know what? There was Miles Turner, power forward. We really had no answer for him. But where was Julius?
There's Pascal Siakam.
Yeah, then we had Siakam. Where was Julius Randle?
Yeah.
We got to change the narrative now.
It's street clothes.
Oh shit! If we had Julius Randle, because that don't fit your narrative. But it's a fact, guys. It's not a narrative. Yeah. Some things are just straight facts that they are not beating us if we had Julius Randle.
If you rooted for lineups of the New York Knicks organization that included, like starting lineups that included Langston Galloway, Tim Hardaway Jr., Lou Almondson,
Lexi
Sved, yeah. Like you rooted for these guys, and now, but now the Knicks is fucking up. now this is where you draw the line.
The logic never makes sense.
You didn't draw the line when we went and got Hardaway back.
Right.
For more money.
You didn't draw the line then, did you?
On this podcast, on this platform, I did a video of me like being outraged by that we re-signed Tim Hardaway Jr. I was so mad I even got up. That's when I was dressed up in my suits. I took off the suit that I had on a Knicks jersey, put on the headband. I was like, they giving away money. I need to go get some. Because if they giving Tim Hardaway this kind of check, I'm about to go try out. That's how I was feeling. You know what I mean? And to come to this point where I'm like, when I can, like with my chest poked out, saying that we got a 60-win season loading, I really feel that from I don't remember me ever because in the height of the 90s, I was a kid. You feel me? So I didn't understand everything that was going on, right? But now understanding everything that's going on as a adult, I've never had this feeling like going into the next season and telling everybody, yo, you got a problem. We gonna smoke y'all. You feel me? But yeah, hope we get Julius Randle back. I'm trying to move on to the next topic. My fault. You know what I mean? Because we almost 2 hours in. Knicks know the vibes with me. We almost 2 hours in. Boom, 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 boom. What's the next topic?
Since you're on the subject of bigs, you might as well talk about Mark Bryant being brought in.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, yeah, facts. Hiring a Mark Bryant. Me personally, I'm going to defer to this topic because I don't know too much personally about Mark Bryant. You know what I mean? So I just know that he's a big man specialist. Pause. That's crazy. But yeah. And I think we can use some of that on this team. But I'm going to defer to the panel because I don't know too much about him. Knickerbocker, if you got anything to say, talk about it.
Well, Mark Bryant, former player, played 10 seasons, is kind of labeled as a big man's coach. He's been assistant since 2005. Just the list of teams that he's been on: Dallas, Orlando, Seattle / OKC, Phoenix, and Detroit. Nothing to really kind of like, to sneeze at, except for the fact that in Orlando he was the one that kind of made Dwight Howard, and in Phoenix he made DeAndre Ayton.
Yep.
Obviously, I'm pretty sure that he had something to do a little bit with helping Tyson Chandler in Dallas, and as well as Dirk Nowitzki. But he's basically a big man's coach, and this can only be good for guys like Mitchell Robinson, Precious Achiuwa, Jericho Sims, and whoever we pick up. Maybe we pick up one of the guys from the G League, or whoever we pick up with the mid-level exception. But this is a big victory because you need somebody to teach Mitchell Robinson not to only be a one-dimensional player. You need to learn how to score like a big man as well. Jericho Sims, I know a lot of people we're not very happy with, going into the season as probably our backup center. Well, guess what? He's probably still going to be that backup center. Now you got somebody who can help develop him, not only to be defensive minded, but to actually learn how to move his feet. We already know he can jump. He can jump out of his shoes. We just need him to start rebounding and play like a big man and use that size, not just his afro. Precious Achiuwa, we signed him. Might as well develop him. Let's make good on that $6 million investment, whether we keep him for the full season or not. But I mean, this is just a big victory for the Knicks to get another guy on Tom Thibodeau's staff that can teach the game of basketball from a different perspective, which is, for all the Tom Thibodeau haters, because he's so close-minded or so stubborn or so this, you got another voice, another grown-up in the room. Dom has been saying this on our show for years. Now we have another grown-up in the room who can teach, who can learn, who can guide, who can, actually help develop these players into what we need them to be, and then exceed that 64 win that I'm saying. I know you guys are saying a whole lot more. Hell, I don't really care how many wins, as long as at the end of it, we get one of these.
Facts. Dom, talk to me.
You know what? T, you kept talking about keep sweating, nobody, baby. We're gonna take out that tape and put in Boys to Men now, and we're at the end of the road. Could this be the end of the road for Mitchell Robinson? I'm just saying. The first thing I thought about when this guy got hired was, geez, this might be it. This could be it for Mitch. We got somebody that Av gave you all the players he helped develop. So Go ahead, T. Saying end of the road, because this just may be it. Because I hear what's his name is unhappy, and somebody been wanting to move him ever since Monty Williams fucked him over. Excuse my French. Ayton. I don't care what you think about Ayton. The kid was a star. If something went left between him and Monty Williams, they never won another game in that championship when shit went south with him and Ayton. Ayton got blackballed, sent out to Portland. If we could swing a deal, if this don't work with Mitchell Robinson, and you can bring in a player like DeAndre Ayton, I don't care what anybody says. Hating on Ayton, whatever you want to say. The kid could shoot, he could rebound, he could hit foul shots. All three things that Mitchell Robinson can't do. Yes, he can block shots. Mitchell Robinson can block shots. But as soon as the Knicks hired this guy, man, I did the research on him, and I was like, oh, shit. I wonder if somebody went and knocked on Mitchell Robinson's door and said, yo, homie, this is your last leg, man. You got to develop something. We got the ultimate, and he's a native. He's from New Jersey.
He's from New Jersey.
We're bringing all of this talent around this team, guys. We ain't doing this shit for shits and giggles. So I think this is it for Mitchell Robinson, guys. If this don't work, he may be gone at the trade deadline.
I think Mitchell Robinson's biggest fault to me offensively, because we don't need him to do too much. So when he get the ball, he keeps the ball too low. He want to take power dribbles. You feel me? And bring in a ball into the defense. Yeah, I mean, I think if he corrects that one little thing, that could easily give him an extra 6 points a game, because he's more times than not, he's in favorable position to score. He just has poor mechanics to execute and capitalize on his position in the court. Maybe, what's his name? Mike Bryant could help with that. You know what I mean? I don't want to see Mitch go. You know what I mean? I'm a hometown guy. We drafted the kid. He's the eldest statement as a Knick. Before he was injured, he was easily going on his way to being on an all defensive team. His first in his career. You know what I mean? So I hope. I'm not disagreeing with you, Dom, that this might be his last. I hope what you're saying is false. Yeah, I mean, I hope what you're saying is false.
We drafted Walt Frazier too.
Yeah, this is true.
We drafted Patrick Ewing too.
Yeah, this is true.
Hate to say that, but sometimes it is what it is. I'll say this, T. If you're talking about an easy 6 points. Because of his inability to shoot foul shots, he's always going to get fouled. So if you just hit 6 foul shots, that's 6 points. Without even doing a turnaround jumper, a finger roll, that's 6 points from the foul line.
Hacker Mitch has become a thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's why we got to get that video to him about him shooting and hitting
the backboard.
Gotta get that video to him. Who else? Fraz, talk to me about the Mike Bryant signing.
All right. So, y'all have heard me say this on Knicks and Ish before about how big men need to be developed. You're finally starting to see, hopefully we start to see some results this coming season. I seen the video release of Jericho Sims working out with Mike Bibby and Mark Bryant. It is good to see the bigs getting shots up with Mike Bibby. Yes, he was a Knick. People, let's not forget this. It's something that's been needed. I've been asking for this for 2.5 seasons now, T-Tom. Like bigs needing to be developed. Now the key to the development is this. If the New York Knicks bigs as a collective, I say this as a collective, not individually, because it's going to take them as a collective to do this. If the New York Knicks as a collective, the big men can develop anywhere a 15 to 18-foot jump shot this season and consistently make it, look out, NBA. Look out, NBA.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
All right? Because that's the missing element to the Knicks offense that's needed in order for us to be in the upper echelon of teams in this league. Period. It's cut and dry. There's nothing else to say about it. There's no other way I can put it.
That does for Julius Randle. If you got a guy that can move out and you got Randle going to the hoop the way he does, right now he's going through a traffic jam. He's going through his man, the guy that's checking Mitchell Robinson and the wheels on the bus. You're right, Boz. A 10-foot jumper. And Julius Randle's a bigger beast than we thought he was.
Listen. I'm going to tell you like this. If Mitch Robinson can consistently make a 15-foot jump shot, bro, we in the green. And I'm going to tell you why. So much pressure gets taken off of Julius Randle because of a lot of the times Randle is in that range posting up or he takes a mid-range jumper.
I might be bugging by saying this, but I think it's possible because the same arc that Mitchell Robinson has on his foul shot is not the same arc that he has on his jump shot.
Exactly.
Like he has arc on his jump shot. If he's shooting from anywhere outside of 3-point, if you watch the videos of him working now, I know they're workout videos and everybody looks good in workouts, but
True.
it's a completely different arc on the jump shot.
It is.
Completely. I don't know what it is about him getting to the free throw line and wanting to shoot directly at the front of the rim, but when he shoots jump shots, there's a legitimate arc. I think it's possible. Yeah, I mean, I'm not holding my breath for it, but I think it's possible. Mrs. Knicks, talk about Mike Bryant.
I mean, everybody said what I had written down when I did some research on him. I mean, I think him being a local guy is really important because, you know, that New York pride is there, or being a Knicks fan, pride is there. And the list of bigs that he's worked with, like Knickerbocker Ave said, DeAndre Ayton. One he didn't mention was Steve Adams. And so these are all bigs that he's developed. And I actually found a couple of quotes where people were talking about him. So DeAndre Ayton said, he taught me a lot of tricks, a lot of things that I needed. He basically polished up my game like a cherry on top. Everything I have, he enhanced it and added more to it. It's a major impact to where he evolved my game to be an enforcer. Another good quote was about Steve Adams, where it said, Mark Bryant, he's amazing with bigs. Steven was not that before he came to Oklahoma City, and now look at him. It took a while. I was in OKC 4 years ago, and Steven was not that. But Mark Bryant is one of those guys who's a plotter. He's in the game. He's in the gym step by step, day by day, getting guys to a level where they can play that position and be effective. Those two things coming from big name guys, that's huge. And we need someone to give us something with our bigs. We know they're talented, but they haven't been given the tools to give us what we need. Yeah. And I think this is it. Like y'all said, you're giving them the best of the best. And if they can't develop with the best of the best, then it's time to move on. And I'm okay with that. But at least we set them up to be able to do it, right? It's not like we said, okay, figure it out. Because you think about it. Mitch been with us, what, 5 years, 6 years, something like that?
Six.
He didn't play college. So we basically got a kid out of high school.
And he started playing basketball late.
And he learned basketball late, right?
Yeah.
So we haven't empowered him up until this point with a solid big that can teach him the game. Now you got it. Let's see what you about to do with it, and let's rock.
That is a great point about Mitchell Robinson. Jeez, I never thought about it. Like the inconsistency in coaching staff throughout his career is crazy. Coach Tommy T, I mean, is the obviously the longest tenured coach he had so far, but I don't think there was any like real onus on developing him in his first 2 years of the league because you had two different coaches there. You know what I mean? And when Coach Tommy T got here, I don't think it was a thing about developing Mitchell Robinson. You know what I mean? But to your point, I do.
He had to handle.
Yeah, to your point, I do agree. It's time for him to put up or shut up as far as his development goes this season. They got you a major asset and tool for you to succeed. And I don't think this is something that none of us talked about yet. Shout out to the front office yet again doing what is needed to be done. You know what I mean? Like we all seen the Leon sleeping meme. We all seen it. And ever since that meme, he's been absolutely in the kitchen cooking.
Right.
Yeah. This is world renowned chef level cooking that's been happening. What's the other coach we added? I know him, but I just can't think of the name right now.
Maurice Cheeks.
Mo Cheeks was a huge signing towards the coaching staff. Then you add somebody like Mark Bryant to help develop the bigs that everybody's so worried about. You know what I mean? Everybody's so worried about what we're doing with the center position. You got a big man development coach. This is absolute great cooking. I don't know. I'm just drawing off of the things that y'all said so far about Mark Bryant, and I can't be nothing but happy because I know for a fact Jericho Sims is he has talent. You know what I mean? Like, it's raw, but he has talent. There's something there with that kid. Now you got a coach that can help develop on the raw foundation. I don't care what nobody says. Give me anybody that jumped as high as Jericho Sims and give me a coach that can help develop that kind of raw athleticism. I'm taking Jericho Sims. It just and to see him working on simple post moves, simple things that you only probably gonna get 2 shots a game anyway. Right?
But you know
if
what
you can hit one of them, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
All right, because my headphones just died, but I can't hear y'all. Hold on.
You know what I always think though? Even with all the great coaching, there's certain things that are individual tasks. Like, you got to take an individual responsibility to want to do A, B, and C better. I can show you how to shoot a rifle. I can. It's very easy. I can show you the 8 steady hold factors, the breathing, but I can't shoot the weapon for you. So there goes that individual task. There's collective tasks and there's individual tasks. So you could have the greatest coach under the sun, but if you don't have it in you, like you said, Jericho Sims is putting in work. He is putting in individual work with his individual talent. Because sooner or later, your individuality is going to have to show up. You're not always going to have T and Foz and Miss Ann teaching you every step of the way. You got to get out there and do something on your own. And I think that's where Mitchell Robinson gets a little.
I could tell you this, right? Jericho Sims, if he didn't have that in him, would have been gone already.
I like him too, T, for some strange reason.
And because you watch if you watch him, he makes mistakes. He doesn't get a lot of minutes. But when he's playing well, you be like, oh shit. Like, this kid could be something. Like, and it's hard to be consistent when you're not getting consistent minutes, right? We seen the same thing with Deuce. For most of us, us here at Knicks, we were pretty high on Deuce. And because we seen some stuff there, but we also knew it's like, all right, you don't play for 30-something games, then they throw you in. You have a bad night, and everybody like, oh, this guy sucks. It's like, bro, he didn't play for 30-something games. You feel me? And I get the same kind of vibe with Jericho. Is more like he knows where to be on the court. You know what I mean? He's in the right position more times than not. He just doesn't. When it's time to execute, he has lapses sometimes.
Right.
He's fouled. He's not as disciplined as you might like. Right. But also, I also fault other players on the court for not putting him in the best position. You got a guy that has the highest vertical in the NBA right now. How is he not getting lobbed? How is he not getting lobbed when he rolled to the rim? How is that not happening for the kid? You know what I mean? But again, now he has the tools to continue to further his development.
And
I'm gonna land the plane right now. And again, I reiterate that if the organization gave him an extension to keep him on his team, Thibs seen something that was like, nah, don't trade my boy. Don't let my boy go. That's my guy. You feel me? We're gonna use him in the future. You know what I mean? And that goes along with what we're saying about him developing people. I land the plane there. Go ahead now.
You gave the greatest example, T, with Deuce. Here's a guy that sat on the bench half the season. He put him in the game. All right, he had a hiccup. Then he turned into Jerry West because he had that in him. He worked on his game. Come on, guys. I remember hearing about this guy in the G League. And I'm not a big G League fan, Summer League, all that shit. But again, this guy sat on the bench holding towels, and 3 games into him getting in the lineup, he turned into, come on. This is what I mean. You got to take that individual part of your game and become something. And he's the greatest example I've seen. Because remember, and I told y'all this again, you went to bed one night, the Knicks had IQ, RJ Barrett, and Grimes. You woke up the next morning, all 3 of them were gone, but we still had Deuce McBride on a cheap $15 million 3-year contract, something crazy. We still had Deuce McBride. And then all of a sudden, he turns into Jerry West. Somebody knew it, just like you said. Thibs sees something in Sims. Somebody saw something in Deuce, whether it was an assistant coach, Thibs. Somebody seen something in this kid. And boy, when they gave that brother a minute, he was like, hey, this shit is fun. I can shoot.
Yeah.
And boom.
People really shit on Thibs' eye for talent, which is weird to me. You know what I mean? Because if you go and look back what he did with the Chicago team, nobody knew who a Luau Deng was. Nobody was super high on Joakim Noah. Like, nobody was high on these guys like that. Thibs brought that out of these guys. You feel me? Like,
he's doing it now.
So why do we not give him the same leeway when it comes to some of the guys on the bench that he's like, yeah, he's not ready yet, but we got to keep him around. Because that's 100% a Thibs call. Because to give him Knickerbocker on, but to give him the extension, I knew he was gonna be here for a while. Yeah, I mean when they decided to give him his extension, I was like, oh, he's gonna be here around. Thibs sees something in Jericho.
And remember with Deuce, it was kind of like, we know we're gonna move Grimes, so we gotta keep Deuce on the quiet. And then as soon as Grimes got traded, okay, Deuce, is your time. Right? Yeah. And they let him loose. And I'm not saying it's the same thing, but it could possibly, right? Because everybody's talking about a sign and trade for a big. So you may just got him in the back pocket, waiting for shit to go down.
I don't know if y'all remember when we drafted Jericho Sims, right? I said Jericho Sims is the contingency plan for Mitchell Robinson.
Yep, you did.
Like, and I still feel that way. Like, they do similar things. Jericho Sims obviously is not as tall as Mitchell Robinson, doesn't have the same wingspan, but a guy who can put pressure on the offensive glass. Yeah, I mean, is a super lob threat and is a solid defender. He may not be the same defender as Mitchell Robinson, but I've watched him play defense. He just has a discipline problem when it comes to keeping his hands to himself. Yeah, I mean, or not committing fouls. He's in the right position more times than not. He understands the basics of playing defense. It's just the little nuances of playing against elite players and guys who've been in the league that got the little tricks to get you in the air or get your hand in the cookie jar that he doesn't have yet. But I still feel like he's always been a contingency playing for Mitchell Robinson. And
I agree. And I think the times he has played extended minutes, he's played well.
You hear what I'm saying?
And going back to what Fry said earlier about that fast break, you add a seasoned Sims in that lineup, the way he can run and as athletic as he is, that changes the complexity of that fast break, fellas.
Well, I know they used to say Showtime in Apollo, but it's about to be Showtime at the Mecca this year. That fast break
what I want to see
like that, boy.
I want to see Jericho Sims on the court with Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and Macau, because Macau will throw it up.
Yeah.
But Tyler, absolutely. Because that boy, Jesus.
Yo, Jericho Sims is the only person I've ever seen catch a lob and dunk it, and his arms are straight out like this. I'm the only person I've ever seen it. dumped the ball and his arms was like this, straight out. Wow.
Hands literally extended over the backboard. Like,
Yeah.
And I'm in this the live as a guest. You're the only person that got any kind of admin right. Can you add Knickerbocker back?
I don't see anybody.
A word. All right, Knickerbocker, you gotta give me a second, homie. I'm gonna start up this next topic while I try to add him back. In the last topic, the Knicks signed, how you pronounce his name? Okeke? Okeke? I don't know nothing about boy. I ain't even gonna pretend like I have a thought process on him or his game. You feel me? So again, I'm gonna turn it over to the panel. Hopefully, y'all have more insight than I do. We're gonna start with Dominic. Dominic, talk.
I don't know nothing. I don't think it's a guaranteed contract though, is it?
No, it's a non-guaranteed 10-game contract.
That's the only thing I know. I don't know who
So
he is. Never heard of him.
he played in Orlando. He didn't get much playing time. From the videos that I saw of him in game, he got a nice handle for the ball, with the ball, for a forward. Now, will he get burned? Probably not. But I think he is someone that we probably can develop.
all right. What I've seen with Okeke is a couple of things that I like. I like that he has a potential to crash boards. He fits in well to the Knicks with
He does shoot the three too. So
crashing the boards. Yes, he does have a 3-point shot, which can be quite useful to the squad, especially in terms of offense and trying to, stretch bigs on the opposing team, bring them to the top of the key and out of the paint. To me, the only thing he doesn't seem like he has that kind of like energy that we want. Like, I think he need to pick up his energy a little bit more. Like, he need to be like how we got guys like Precious and how iHeart was for us. Like, I think if his energy is up there like that, I think he could be useful. I really think so. But it is a thing where he is going to have to develop somewhat of a post game. You know what I mean? It's all going to come back to that at some point. Where even with other guys, like, we need a big who can give us some kind of post game presence.
Knickerbocker, you know anything about this Okeke kid?
It's Chuma Okeke, and what I know about him is that he's basically going to be a backup to a backup to a backup. He just watch out. Josh Hart will not play 48 minutes now. He can only play 47. Because Okeke is going to get that 1 minute in garbage time. All right. All jokes aside, this is a kid that he pretty much has got like a journeyman career going. It's kind of starting like that way. He does have a slight 3-point shot. He does have some game experience. He did start some games for Orlando. I think he started 19, 20, and then in the last 2 seasons he's got 8. He's got a little bit of experience. I feel like in the last 2 years, he fell off. He fell out of favoritism. Also, injuries didn't really help him very much. But I think he fell out of favoritism. I don't see very much development for him. I see him probably being a G leaguer or somebody that he'll take the picture in the Knicks uniform for the press day, and then you'll never see him again.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, Mrs. Knicks, talk about it.
No, I already said what I said on him. I mean, I think from everything I've read, he needs developing. But that goes back to what Don said, however much you're willing to put into yourself. He looked like he can handle the ball from, the little clips I've seen. but everyone says he needs a lot of work. But again, with a coach that develops big men, anything is quite possible. We'll see. So I mean, that's all I know on him. I know today the Knicks also announced that they signed Kevin McCullough Jr. to a two-way deal. So he was one that we got in the draft, I believe, or was drafted, or we traded for him in the draft, something like that. But he's like an all-defensive player in college. Again, probably in the G League he'll be, but someone we possibly can develop.
Yeah. I will say this. This front office has shown foresight. You know what I mean? Like there's a contingency plan, I feel like, for most things that they're trying to do. And I feel like the old KK, that's how you pronounce it.
Okeke.
Yeah, he had a lot to say. Knickerbocker had a lot to say about how I felt attitude or how I pronounced his name. It's such and such Okeke. So the Okeke kid, I feel like it's like a foresight thing. Like we may
need him.
or have to move on from Mitch or go in a different route in the future for the center position. So why not start trying to develop guys now? Or, we may, God forbid, that's me knocking on wood, get hit with the injury bug again. And we have some guys to fill some spots and take some minutes. Because I really do feel like if, God forbid, Mitch get injured again, it's going to take a collective to kind of
You
feel.
mean when?
Huh?
You mean when he gets injured again?
Come on, bro. What we doing here, Knickerbocker? What we doing here, bro? Yeah, what we doing here, bro? What we doing, bro? 61 season loading. What you talking about? It's not helping. You feel me? Yeah. But now I do feel like the front office got foresight. This probably gonna be a development year or two to see if this kid really can be something or has anything. Especially with the guy that Mrs. Nick just said that we traded for. Because when you posted that in the group chat, Mrs. Nick, that we traded for this, or we got this kid because he was released. When we signed this, what's his name again?
Kevin McCullough Jr.
Yeah, I was like, who?
So he actually was supposed to play in the summer league for us, but he had got hurt right before summer league started.
All right. So yeah, these guys ain't probably gonna see no minutes, but it doesn't hurt to develop some guy in the G League or have him come up and practice with the pros and see if what they could be in the future. But
they could be a deuce. You never know until you try.
I feel like they already had plans for Deuce when we signed Deuce. Like Deuce was already a part of the main plan. Like they just needed Deuce is a Thibs guy for real. Like you could just tell.
No, when I'm saying that, I'm saying nobody else knew. Everybody's like, he's a bum. Who is that? No, he should never get burned.
Nah, man. Yeah, but we gonna see. It's gonna be an interesting season. We've been here for 2 hours and 13 minutes. Y'all know that's way too long for your boy. You know what I mean? Yeah, way too long. But that just goes to show I've been having a good night, good conversation. I appreciate, I mean, the guests tonight, Knickerbocker Ave, Dominick. Unless y'all got something else,
y'all.
I always leave this last one before I wrap up. If y'all got something else y'all want to add or anything, any topic that you could think of, now's the time or forever hold your peace. You feel me?
Well, only thing I gotta say is just be ready, cause when the season starts, y'all know I'm giving y'all the Knicks parlays.
Absolutely.
So please be ready for the parlay, Lord. Yeah, I mean, cause we gonna ramp that up starting right before the season starts. Know what I mean?
Knickerbocker Dom, y'all got anything y'all want to talk about?
As always, I thank you for having me and pass the word. You know, like I do every time I tag y'all or tag your stuff. Support is free.
Absolutely.
You know, we don't have to pay nobody. Support is free.
Give your tags.
Oh, they in the links to their stuff is already in the bio. You're in the description.
Yeah.
You know, I took care of that. You feel me? I took care of that. You can follow Nick Ave. I got his IG in the bio. I got Dominick's I still call it Twitter. Twitter in the bio, you know what I mean? In the description. But so Knickerbocker, you had anything else you want to talk about?
Nothing to talk about. Just I'm loving the conversation. Thank you so much. It was an absolute blessing. It was a blessing to talk to Damo as always. It's always a blessing to talk to Anna. It's been a while. We got to link up again. T-Tom, Fries, Kev, you guys are awesome. It's a great show. Knicks and Ish. Thank you so very much. I hope to be back here soon.
Oh, you always welcome. You know what I mean? You always welcome, especially since you get the co-sign from the first lady of Knicks and Ish. You know what I mean? All it takes.
That's
They
big.
be like, oh, they valid. All right, tell them to pull up. You feel me? It's a pleasure having both of you guys here. Dom, Dom, we're gonna start having. You know how they like to do the cheesy friend of the show. I would have to start introducing Dom like that at this point. Friend of the show.
That's Dom Stradamus, bro. That's Dom Stradamus. That's the man that's predicted more winning streaks and more situations with that I mean talking. And that's my brother. I love him very much. Too bad he's Army. I'm Marine, but it's all good.
Somebody had to be in the Marines.
Ever since I met Dom on social media, he's been one of my favorites because I like his view on how he thinks and processes the Knicks. It's not from, it's from a realistic standpoint. Even if we disagree, I can see where he's coming from because it's based on fact and not off of, emotion. You know what I mean? Even though a lot of times, I could base my opinions off emotions as well. But Dom has a good way of being like, nah. But if you look at it this way and you break it down, like, yeah, that makes sense. You know what I mean? And Knickerbocker, you as well. This is my first time actually having, a conversation with you. And I appreciate your input and your insight on the Knicks as well. Yeah, I mean, I could tell it's coming from a genuine place. You feel me? And that's all I care about. But before we go, Dom, I gotta ask you because Dom is a Yankee fan. Why nobody told me how good this Chisholm kid is, man?
Because he wasn't a Yankee. That's why.
That's a fact.
That's why.
That's why.
I called the trade.
Fucking phenomenal, bro.
If Kev was here, he would have told you I called the Yankees going after him because I already knew that Vita had the ties with the Marlins from being in the front office for the Marlins. He already had the ties, and I already knew he was gonna go after him. I said, "Yo, Chisholm's coming to the Yankees, bro."
That's hilarious.
Day before the deadline,
my daughter texted me.
He happened to be one of my. I do the 5 stadium tour. I still ain't got to New York, ironically, but last year Miami was step 1 for me. It was opening weekend. Actually, they were playing the Mets, and I saw this kid. I was like, "What's that saying from a Bronx tale? Nothing's worse than wasted talent." I'm like, where do you go in Miami? I mean, how far down can you go in the sports world, baseball especially? But I will say this, T. I ain't going to quote this, but I don't think I ever seen a player on the Yankees, if we could use the word swag and not sound like teenagers, but I don't think I ever seen a player on the Yankees with that much swag, bravado. And it's not like he's a 330 hitter or he's a normal player, but he just has that pizzazz. And I don't know how the hell he fits in with. I guess we got to get rid of the Yankee lore and the history of the Yankees, and we were this and that. This kid is something special,
I
man.
think
He's
he's
fun to
going to be the
watch.
one to help break that. You feel me?
Facts.
I think he's going to be. I think, just looking at purely from a baseball standpoint, I think he was the shot in the arm that this team needed.
Woo.
Yes, absolutely.
We were lingering, and it was looking bad. I was like, yo, what the happened?
But I
And
will
when
say
the
this,
season
T.
started, I was ready to hang a banner. We gonna win. We won a championship this year, and we went on one of the worst 2-month stints I've seen in baseball history.
Yeah.
But
Like,
here's the
especially from
funny.
a winning team.
Here's the funny thing, T. And you said it before. How I have that. I kept thinking to myself, one, it's kind of hard to start out like that. The Yankees went almost the first 2 months without losing a series.
Yeah.
Then they couldn't win a series. So there's always going to be those hot. But then I sat back and thought to myself, damn, all that shit these people on social media are talking about my Yankees, they're tied for first place. They had, like you said, 2 of the worst months in baseball history. And I look at the standards and, ain't this some shit? Not
We
only are
still
they
have the
tied for
third best
first,
record.
they're percentage points away from the best record in the American League. And then they go to Philly, who was the best team in baseball, and whack that ass. I'm like, here we go. See, you got baseball's a long season. Yeah, baseball is a long season. If you're in it for oh my God, we went through
182 games.
Yeah, you can't
No, I
sit
agree.
back
I
and say,
think,
oh my
like you said,
God,
his swag is dope. Like
Oh,
seeing him not
you know
care
what?
about people talking about his hat backwards, and
Who
when I
cares?
seen that metallic belt, I'm like,
Oh yeah, what the?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
You know what I
dying. And
did
then
like though? I said at
then
least
I get a call from my daughter, and she's like, "Yo, he's nice. I need his jersey."
yeah.
Mind you, my daughter's 24. Only jersey she got is a Jeter jersey, and she
Me
want
too.
his jersey.
But
Yeah.
wait,
You know what's weird? I looked at him and said, you know what? Again, he's not. But what I think hurt the Yankees, T, and we can go home after this, is I think our pitching pitched above their heads earlier
Yeah.
on.
They did.
Gil, however you say his name. I think he's going to be a fine player. Don't get me wrong. He's going to be a hell of a pitcher. But I think a lot of these guys, because of how hot we started, they were so far over their heads that they didn't really. We shouldn't have had them there. They shouldn't have been, but they did, and they got us off to that great start.
And Garrett Cole getting hurt didn't help nothing either.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, and
You know
I
what I
will
mean?
say this: as much shit as people talk, maybe it's coincidental. Again, Stanton's like the Julius Randle of the Yankees. Everybody wants to get rid of him, but I noticed when Stanton went out, so did we.
Yep.
Yo,
We went totally left until we got Jazz.
the person we need to get rid of is Gleyber Torres. Get him
Oh,
the fuck
yes,
out of
yes.
here.
Because again, see, not to drag this on, you do know what position this Jazz plays, right?
all of
Second.
them.
Second
But
base.
he's a
All of
natural
them.
second baseman.
Yeah, I heard the quote.
We need to get LeMahieu back at third. He's finally coming back around. We got that good young kid that's going to be all right playing first base. We got to
Ben
get
Wright?
rid of. I said this for 2 years. See, I look at Gleyber Torres like I did Kevin Knox. God forgive me for saying this shit, but I think we gave him enough rope to
hang
Hang
jump
himself.
off the
And
Third
then
Avenue
took the
Bridge.
chair from under him. Okay.
And to show that you're not a team player. To say some shit like that. Because clearly Jazz is a phenomenal fielder. He got the speed and the quickness you don't have
Right.
to
And
play
the
that
arm.
position.
And the arm.
And the arm. But you want to put him over at third, and I'm watching Jazz play third, and I'm like, he's not half bad there either.
Right.
Nope.
So imagine if we could put him in his rightful position, and then, like you said, move LeMahieu when he's healthy to third.
Because you know what? We did it. We did it with Gleyber Torres. See, he wasn't a natural shortstop. He was a second baseman. We tried him at shortstop because we didn't have a shortstop. Then this is what I mean about enough rope. We put you out of your position. Okay, shame on us. Slap, slap, slap. We put you in your natural position, and you're still Gleyber Torres.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. You know,
Yeah, he got to go.
there comes a time where I'm sorry. To this day, guys, I can't understand it, and I wish this guy success wherever he's at. How the Yankees got rid of Andujar before Torres is criminal. It's fucking criminal.
You know what's crazy too about him saying some shit like that? We had Alex Rodriguez on our team, and he moved to third willingly.
Won a Gold Glove
at third,
and an MVP, and an MVP.
And you mean to tell me if Alex Rodriguez coming from the Texans could go, I play third, sure, and you ain't fucking a third, a quarter of a player that Alex Rodriguez was on his first day. And you're gonna tell me
right?
You're not a third baseman. Oh, you got pack it, bro.
And let's not forget, guys. I know this rubs a lot of Yankee fans the wrong way, but there ain't no way in hell you're gonna tell me Derek Jeter was a better shortstop than Alex Rodriguez.
No.
Sorry. I love Jeter.
No.
He's the only jersey I have. I have the season where he retired. That jersey, the special edition, that I never wore. But no, you're not going to tell me he was a better shortstop than Alex. He was not a better baseball player than Alex Rodriguez. Forgive me. Alex stepped on it with the roids and all of that. But again, I'm old school. You show me where steroids helps you hit, how it helps your hand and eye coordination.
It don't.
And I'll give up. But again, like you said, T, this guy's talking about like a little kid. I don't want to play. Well, you know what? Take your ball and go home. You play where the hell we tell you to play, or you go home.
I feel like it's only a matter of time before he's packed.
And before we go, T, the time is now, because guess what's up this year?
What?
His contract.
Arbitration.
Oh yeah. We're gonna trade him. Yeah, he's out of here. But yo, shout out to everybody that pulled up tonight. Super appreciate everybody in the comments. I'm sorry, technical difficulties. I couldn't really add the comments to the screen tonight because I'm in the studio as a guest myself. But
Uncle Paulie's a riot, though. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we love Uncle Paulie here. He's a friend of the show as well. Yeah, I mean, to use the cliche, he's a friend of the show as well. You feel me? But yeah, thank you everybody. If you didn't do it already, make sure you hit that like button. Sharing is always caring. You know the vibes. And God willing, we'll see you next Monday. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, today's Monday. Right. Yeah, next Monday. All right, peace.
Peace.
And live. I'm so bootleg right now. I gotta end the live on a whole different